Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique and welcome to Medora Budgets. I'd like to thank anyone who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. Truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So if you are rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if it's content you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. It's myself and Sweets married with a whole bunch of kids. And I know I say that all the time. And you guys might think, well, she ain't never said how many kids she got. Well, total altogether, we have 8 kids, okay? We are Brady Bunch. It's the Medora Bunch. But it's myself and Sweets married with a whole bunch of kids, trying to figure out our future family and finances, so the decisions we're making now won't negatively impact us in the future. So we are here to do a budget with me. It's for the paycheck I'll be receiving on November the 29th. You guys, we are officially on baby watch. So my daughter went to the hospital. I took her last night, and her boyfriend met her there, and they are there now. They are trying to get her more dilated, I guess, and so they gave her some medicine. That medicine needs to be in her system for 12 hours. They gave it to her at 1:30 a.m. So I'll get an update status at 1:30 p.m. and then we'll just see from there going forward. Of course, we'll be going back up to the hospital for sure. My hope is that she's got another 24 hours in her, so that we can get a date of the 27th, so that Nana and Bean can have the same birthday. Wouldn't that be something awesome? All right, so we are here to do a budget with me for the check I'm going to receive on November the 29th. We got to take care of a few bills here, but this check is really going to take care of the majority of the December time frame. So it goes from November 29th through December the 12th. So I have over here the budget that I worked out. You guys, oops, sorry, shaking the camera. Probably saw me do that as a part of my messy budget series. And so I do need to make sure that I am documenting here. Because remember, 3 of my bills now, because everything is clear. Okay, so let me say that from the 15th to the 28th, all of that stuff is done. It's good because I paid all of the bills earlier, and now I'm just waiting for some subscriptions to come through. But those get charged on the Alley credit card, and I just reconcile that once a month. Mortgage, auto, and Nelnet, I need to put that here too, are all now split bill. And so those amounts are put here, and they will be taken care of on November the 29th. Ring, AHS, and I'm just going to highlight it like this. Ring and AHS, which is my home warranty, are both now on subscriptions. So those won't be coming out of the bills account. They'll be coming off of that Alley credit card like I talked about before. Electric, I had 200. Electric actually came in at 142. So it's a little bit cheaper than what I anticipated, which is great for me. And then we go all the way until Verizon on the 10th. And that's 148. I have AT&T is on the 13th. I'm going to go ahead and write it in on the 12th because my plan was to pay for that out of this paycheck. We'll do 91 there. And then I want to, at some point, make a payment to Citi for $70. I'm going to put that just on the 1st. The Citi credit card payment is not due until the 24th. But this is me trying to make sure I'm covering that. And that by the end of, I should have put that in the 29th. Because you guys know I'm trying to reach $500 that I paid on the Citi card for the month of November. So that should probably be here. Citi, $70. All right, and then that's everything accounted for. Auto should have said 300. And mortgage is still at 220. All right, there you go. So I made my updates as far as the Big Bertha is concerned. If you were not aware, I use this calendar to guide me through my monthly expenses, and I check them off as these things are covered. I got this from Walmart. It was like $7-8. It's a monthly planner, and that's all it has in it is just the big pages of the months from 2024 through 2026. And I use washi tape to denote my paycheck cycles so that I can understand where these bills need to be covered at. Okay. All right. So that is it for Big Bertha. Then where are we? Then we have here our actual budget with me that I've got notated here. So we'll talk about this in a minute. Now, I did want to let you guys know I am still using my digital planner. You guys know the digital planner is for me. The paper planner is more so for Sweets, so that if he ever wants to see what we are doing as far as the budget is concerned, the household budget, he'll always have that information available. So here, though, on my digital planner, I wanted to show you guys that I am going to be using a digital planner made by the Dash Planner for 2025. With that said, when you bought the 2025 version of it, you got the last quarter of 2024. I'm really loving this planner right now, and I am going to do something a little different. I'm going to let this planner determine my categories and how I'm going to kind of categorize my money as I'm working through my budget. So the way that this form works, you have, let's go here. So you have your monthly view, and then y'all, I built a scene. Planning Serenity. If you watch this video, I hope you're proud, girl. You taught me how to do it. But I built a scene as far as my as far as the bottom of my monthly calendar is concerned. And when I say I built a scene, I mean I built it like you see that? She wasn't a part of that. I added all the little things in there. I'm trying to get better about designing and decorating, y'all. It's hard. It's a lot. But anyway, at the end of the day, the Dash Planner gives you the monthly view. It gives you here at the top, you have choices, and those choices show calendar, overview, finances, trackers, and review. Those are done for each of the months. Now, what I like about this a lot is from your monthly view. So this is the month of November. Remember, I told you she gave me the 2024 quarter for free when I bought the 2025. So I have the calendars of October, November, and December here. Okay. And what happens is right here. So I'm under November. I am under the calendar. If I go to the overview, right? So I want to see the overview for November. It takes me to the overview. It has all of the different categories, what you want to do for personal, work, or school, for home, your life balance. How are you going to achieve a life balance in several categories, yada, yada, yada. It has that for November. Remember here across the top, these are all of the things for November. But what she also did when she created this planner is she gave you the months underneath that particular title. So if I'm under the overview for November and I say, you know what, let me see what I filled out for my overview for October, I can just click on October and it takes me to the October view of the overview. And I love that because I can, first of all, look at all of my items that I want to for the month of November, or I can look back for each of the quarters based on the month that I select. So here I'm under November finances, for example. So this is the finance sheet. And if I wanted to compare this to what I did in October, as far as these are concerned, I don't have to come out. I don't have to click on October over here and then go to finance. All I have to do is click on October here. And it takes me to the October finance page, which I absolutely love. I'm not going to tell you I got planner peace. I'm just going to say she did a pretty good job on putting together this planner. All right, so I did the November 29th budget on this digital planner using the finance page on the Dash Planner. And I did it under December, even though I'm getting paid on November the 29th, because the majority of the days in this particular paycheck cycle fall in December instead. So what you'll notice here is she divides up her categories like this. So first, of course, you have your income for sure. You have housing and utilities all together here under one. You have one for transportation, one for food, one for health. You have one for personal, one for savings, and one for debt. She does have one for giving, and she has one for miscellaneous as well. So what I have decided to do is use these categories. So I'm going to use these categories to help me track where I am spending my money. This is very different than the process I was using before, because before all of my variables were together: groceries, gas, home, medicine, Corinne for her allowance, dining out. All of those were set together as variables, and then I had one section as bills. But that does not tell me for each category how much money I am spending overall. So how much money am I spending as far as my auto is concerned, or transportation is concerned? How much am I spending as far as food is concerned? How much am I spending as far as health is concerned? So I'm changing my budget categories leading into 2025. Now, I will tell you, I separated home from utilities. And so for me, I'll have two different categories instead of just one, but I'm okay with, on this budget sheet, it being combined all together. Now, what am I hoping to achieve on this? First of all, one of the things I need to understand is how much it costs for me to maintain my four walls. And then, of course, how much it costs for me to maintain everything else. But also outside of that, I want to try and group my money together differently and look at how I can allocate the banking accounts that I have to match up a little bit better with these categories. And the reason why I want to do that is because I feel like there's some money in here somewhere. And it could just be me thinking, I have a lot that I know that I try to put towards savings, but I don't know that I have a very clear picture on how much money I'm spending based on categories. I know how much money I spend based on bills. I know how much money I spend based on sinking funds, and I know how much money I spend based on variable, but I don't know how that translates out differently. For example, for my person under this, she has personal. I had to look at all of the sinking funds that I had, and I had to figure out how those categories work. And I realized I have Xerxes, I have my bonus kids, I have them listed as high priority sinking funds. But at the end of the day, this is all personal money that I'm spending, money that I put aside for pets, for kids, for myself. It's really more so personal spend. So that's what's got me thinking about it a little bit differently. How can I change up my thought process and potentially change how I'm viewing the money that I'm spending? Because overall, how much am I spending from a personal standpoint? If I have major high priority sinking funds associated with the kids, if I have my own personal money associated as well, am I looking at from a paycheck perspective? This time it was only about $180, but notice I'm not giving anything to Xerxes. I'm not giving anything to bonus kids. So if at the end of the day, am I setting aside $250, $300, $400 just for personal spending? And is that a category that I need to change up and think about differently? Am I putting too much money towards that? So I am going to be making some changes there. The second thing as well that I looked at as well is savings. So under savings, I have the little 100 envelope challenge that I do in the Monday Mini. But when I look at other content creators and other people and how they plan, sometimes that emergency falls into a savings category as well. Whereas the home buffer, the one that I give my most money to, that falls under housing and under utilities, etc. So am I looking at it a little differently? So maybe my emergency, like I had talked about on my messy budget, remember where I talked about here, I said, I give myself $850 to handle variable expenses. I was not contributing up here to emergency, and I haven't. I didn't contribute the last two checks. I'm not going to contribute this check. I'm not going to contribute next check. But then when I looked at things differently, I was like, well, maybe I can move emergency down here. And now I use this variable money to cover that emergency and treat it as a savings as opposed to treating it as a high priority sinking fund. So I'm just giving you a heads up that 2025, you'll see a few changes coming in from that. But it's because I said, I've always talked about other creators, digital planners, and how I have not been happy with the finance pages on any of them. This time what I decided to do is let me try and embrace what they did and let me see if it works for me. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try it out. We shall see. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be using these as my categories. So, the budget mom on her page with her free resources, she does provide a page that deals with budget categories. And that's what you see here. I am going to look at what these categories are. And then I have, like you see, I've got holes punched on both sides. And what I plan to do is I'm going to take it out every time I get ready to reconcile my numbers as far as my tracking is concerned. And I'm going to take it, and that's why I had put holes on both sides, because I'm going to sit it here. And then I'm going to start tracking my ledger, my logbook of all of my expenses for each of the accounts, highlight them based on the categories, and see where all of my money really is going. I think this is the best way for me to handle it. So we shall see if that works out. All right. So now that we're in here, we'll just go ahead and start looking at the budget. And I've already worked this out. None of these numbers should look foreign to you guys, because we talked about it in my messy budget video. So I'm going to pull that out and put that over here on this side, and let's see where we go. And y'all forgive me, I'm going to turn it to the side a little bit just so that everything fits. All right, so I am expecting $30 rollover, because that's how much I had left over in the bills account. I'm not going to count any other accounts, just that bills account for the rollover money. I said $13.75 going into the bills account, and $8.50 or $9.50. I think I talked about me money, so I'm going to say, let's say $9.50. I think that's what I did. Y'all, forgive me. Let me go and check. Yeah, I did. So I did $9.50 for variable account, and then I said Micah is going to give me $50. All right. 30, 13.75, 9.50, and 50. 24.05. Okay. All right, so that's the total that I'm expecting as far as inflow, money inflow is concerned. As far as bills, I've got mortgage, auto, Nelnet automatically, because those are all split bill. And then my Verizon, my electricity, AT&T, although it'll be a little early, and City. That equals 1016. Okay, so I've got that already written down. As far as my sinking funds are concerned, what I worked out before was that I'm only going to give to 3. I'm going to put 150 in buffer, because that one took a hit over the last couple of weeks. 80 into my property insurance, and subscriptions is going to get 120. So that's going to be a total of $350 for that category. All right, now as far as my expenses are concerned, let's move that over a little bit. I am giving a little bit more. So you guys remember that I talked about here that I wanted to give a little bit more to my variables, and I was able to come up with another $30. So I'm going to put 20 of that into groceries. So that moved up to $220. $80 in gas, 60 in home, 60 in dining. This is for a 2-week period. Okay. $50 in meds. So I gave that extra 10 here. Because usually I had $40 in meds. Now I'm going to move up to $50 in meds. Corinne is going to get her $40, $20 a week. Little Bean is going to get $20. And so that totals up to $530. But I'm going to erase that. And why am I going to erase that? Because I forgot to account for my me money. So that needs to be accounted for as well. And let's see what I said as far as me money is concerned. I said $120. So let me add me money. And we're going to put 120. So 530 plus 120 equals, that's going to be $650. And again, that's a lot of money. So I got to work through that amount. All right, so $650 for expenses. And then for savings, the 100 envelope is going to get 100. Monday Mini will get 140. Extra debt, I'm going to give 50. Now that could have been over here, but it's coming out of the variable account, and that's why I have it listed over here for right now. And then class dues, I want to pay $25 for, so that's $315. So when we look at those totals, that's $2,405 of income. My bills is going to be $1,016. Total savings is $315. Total expenses is $650. And total to sinking funds is $350. And Lord, let these numbers end out right. So that's 2405 minus 1016 minus 315 minus 650 minus $350. So it's saying I should have $74 left over. And if so, that'll be a nice bit to pay either towards my extra debt, or I am now having to consider, you know, I'm about to be a nana, right? So we're on baby watch. So I'm about to be a nana. So I'm thinking about making a binder or some type of savings for Little Bean overall. So we shall see. So that is my budget with me. Those are my numbers. I know I've talked through a lot, so I appreciate y'all's patience, but I am working through what my 2025 is going to look like. I think a lot of people have been thinking about that there's a lot of excellent videos out where people are just strategizing a little bit different and seeing how they're going to start the new year. And I guess I'm trying to do the same. All right. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.